Welcome to Terry's Kitchen, where we talk food, faith, and family. Today I want to read from a little devotion book that I read every day, and it's called Jesus Calling. But for today, you are mine for all time, and beyond time into eternity. No power can deny you your inheritance in heaven. I want you to realize how utterly secure you are. Even if you falter as you journey through life, I will never let go of your hand. Knowing that your future is absolutely assured can free you to live abundantly today. I have prepared this day for you with the most tender concern and attention to detail. Instead of approaching the day as a blank page that you need to fill up, try living it in a responsive mode, being on the lookout for all that I am doing. This sounds easy, but it requires a deep level of trust based on the knowledge that my way is perfect. And at times that's very hard to just let go and let God, but if He is taking care of your life and you trust in Him, He's only going to lead you to His perfect life and His perfect will for your life. So thank you for letting me read that, and let me wash my hands, and then we'll get started with this evening's meal. So this evening we are having pecan crusted salmon. We are going to have rice pilaf and long grain rice that we're going to combine together, and steamed broccoli. So let's get started. And also, this is my new apron that I purchased the other day, that I just told Ron that I had purchased when I was doing the meatloaf the other night. So, and those that know me know that I like to be matchy-matchy. So red, so brought out the red striped apron. So this evening, like I said, we're having the pecan crusted salmon. I have, we bought a large salmon, and we're not going to eat all that for this evening, so I cut that, and probably I left maybe a fourth of it, and went ahead and cut those into fillets that I have frozen, so that'll be another meal for us later on. So I have a foil that I have lined my baking dish. Put a little spray. Boy, that just went out the window. So a little bit of cooking spray on there so it wouldn't stick. And I've let my salmon fillets come to room temperature. So what I first am going to do is I'm going to prepare the wet mix to go right on top of the salmon. So what I have here is 3 tablespoons of Dijon Mustard. I'm going to add to that 3 tablespoons of fresh honey. Well, honey. There's a lady that I get my honey from, and her name is Karen, and it is always so delicious. And so when I say fresh honey, that's her fresh honey. Then I'm going to add, I have 3 tablespoons of butter that I have melted. And I have 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to maybe do half of that. The more I thought about it, maybe a little too much salt. I'm just going to mix that up. Maybe should have gotten a little bit of container as I was adding, but all is well. Hope everybody's having a good day. What they're saying is we're going to have some snowy weather on Saturday, so hopefully it's not going to be too intense, because we got used to that 70-degree weather. This, you could also, I like, as I'm doing the meals, for those that are working, I know, again, it's hard sometimes to prep your meals, but this could be something that you could prep. You could put your ingredients together, kind of like I did, and then that way when you come home, it's ready to go. All right, so that's mixed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brush that over the salmon. And I'm going to put it around the sides because I'm going to take our pecan crusted mixture, which has panko, breadcrumbs, and I'm going to add some additional seasonings to it. We went to a friend's house, Judy and Larry, and she made this salmon, and it was so good, and the rice pilaf. And she told me what she did as far as combining the long grain rice and the rice pilaf together. So anytime we have any kind of fish or any type of seafood, that's been kind of my go-to side dish with that. And I went to the refrigerator and I had cut up some broccoli the other day when I had gotten it, put it into the broccoli florets, and then put it in a Ziploc baggie with a paper towel at the bottom, and that way, you know, always trying to look at ways to make it easy in the kitchen, that when you get home from whatever you may be doing, work or out playing or whatever, that you can just quickly go to your refrigerator and some of your meal is already ready to go. You just need to pull out the broccoli and steam it. So I have a little bit of this left over. I'm just going to put it to the side. Now I'm going to, so you see what I've just done is I've brushed that coating, and that's going to help keep our dry mixture on the salmon. So I have a half a cup of Panko breadcrumbs. It's kind of has a little more crustier crust to it. So I'm going to add a half a cup of pecans. And I have half a teaspoon of that ground black pepper, coarse black pepper, because I wanted a little bit more seasoning to it. So I have some Italian seasoning, and I have about 1 tablespoon of that. And then I have 1.5 tablespoons of dehydrated parsley, because I like the color and I want it to kind of pop. And also it brings a little bit of flavoring into the mixture here. So just mix that up. See how already nice and pretty that is. Let me bring this over. And I'm just going to sprinkle this on top of each fillet. There's a lot of salmon recipes, and you just need to find the one that works for you and that your family likes. Like our daughter does not care for salmon, but our son does. She's not much into seafood, period. So just keep sprinkling that. And I may put some here on the sides, because I don't know about you, but I love that crispy, anything crispy. So this is a little healthier version of a meal tonight. And I really hope that you would consider maybe doing this, especially if you like salmon. You can already get the frozen fillets. We just happened to be at the store and I ran across and got the fresh salmon. Okay. So you can see that they're already all ready to go. I'm just going to set these to the side, and then I'm going to preheat our oven to 350. Some dishes that when you bake, they're calling for a higher temperature. But for this, I'm thinking 350 for maybe 25 minutes. And that should get the salmon done and flaky and get a nice crust on the topping. So we're going to move over here to the stove. And so what I have here I went ahead and prepared. So this is the long grain. It's not the long cooking long grain rice, but it's a little quicker version. So I have the contents of the container in here. I'm going to add 1 3/4 cup of water. And then I'm going to add, there's a seasoning pack to it. I'm going to add that. I'm going to stir it. And then I'll put that on and let that come to a boil. And then I'm going to bring it down to a simmer for 10 to 12 minutes. So the rice pilaf, the reason I didn't combine those, they each cook at a different temperature. I mean, not temperature, but time. And so I'll wait on this until the timing that I have, that 10 to 12 minutes left. I have my steamed broccoli ready to go. It's ready to steam. And so the rice pilaf, what I do is I have 1 3/4 cup of water. Can you see me, Ron?
Yes, okay. I can.
Now I can. So 1 3/4 cup of water. I'm going to put it into the saucepan. Going to add 1 tablespoon of butter. And I'm going to bring that to a boil. And then I'm going to add the rice pilaf. And then I'm going to bring that back to a boil. And then it's going to simmer for 20 to 25 minutes. So about the same time as the salmon. So the key thing of putting a meal on the table is learning the timing of everything so that everything comes out about the same time and you have a nice hot meal. So I'm going to get started cooking this and then we'll come back and show you the finished meal. Blessings. Hello, welcome back. Our meal is finished and completed, so I thought I'd go ahead and prepare and plate our meal up. So both of this is the rice pilaf. I'm going to put it in here with the long grain rice, and I'm going to combine those. Definitely will have rice left over. With the two rice dishes, it really makes it nice and pretty and just a hearty looking dish, and it'll be great leftovers for lunches or another meal. Okay, and our steamed broccoli is done. So the dogs are having a okay. So our meal, so here was our salmon. So I'm going to plate up the salmon. I have some lemon slices because again you'll hear me talk about presentation. Some of the long grain rice and rice pilaf. And definitely the steamed broccoli will bring some beautiful green color. Okay. And there is our dinner. And let me show you the flakiness of the salmon. Just kind of breaks away here. So thank you for joining us today. If you are liking these YouTube videos, certainly subscribe to our channel. And blessings to you. You have a wonderful evening.